Okay, confession time. I once starred in an 80s music video that hit #1 in America and was a huge hit in the UK as well. And I was only just a kid. But can you guess which one?
Legacy through the lens.
Hey, I'm Leah Charles King and welcome to Legacy Through the Lens, my digital home where I'll be curating almost 40 years in show business. I'm talking about the stories, the triumphs, the tea, and the truth behind all of it. From child actress to 90s UK girl group member to kids TV alumni on children's ITV and the Disney Channel, to current day as a presenter on A Place in the Sun, and not forgetting my mental health advocacy work, this series attempts to join all the dots. So if you love nostalgia, a bit of pop culture, and the untold stories behind the screen, you're in the right place. So let's rewind to 1988. The 80s were wild. Big hair, bold beats, and a UK music scene taking over the world. From Soul to Soul to Bananarama, Sade to Duran Duran, British pop was booming. And somewhere in the midst of all of that was little old me. I was just a little nipper, an energetic, cheeky chatterbox, born in Paddington and raised in pre-gentrified Maida Vale in West London. Big dreams and even bigger hair bows, or sometimes cornrows with beads, thanks to my Auntie Lee, God rest her soul. My first claim to fame? Well, a certain Billy Ocean music video. Get out of my dreams and get into my car. Now, for those who don't know, Billy Ocean was one of Britain's biggest international soul stars, topping charts worldwide through the 80s. I mean, he was big. He had tunes like this. In the love zone. And like this. The time keeps going. And who can forget this? But there was a particular song that became a massive hit, and it reached #1 in the US for 2 weeks straight and #3 right here in the UK. It was a pure pop banger. I got an audition to be in the music video. I was maybe about 7 years old, maybe. So in the auditions, 3 young girls were chosen, and I was one of them. And on the day when we arrived, we had a chaperone. There were no parents, so I already felt grown up. And I was ushered into my own Winnebago, darling. It was pretty cool stuff for a little kid from London. And then the director of the video came in to say hello. What I didn't realize at that time was that he was actually casting us on the spot. So remember, there were 3 of us. And his vision was a mini Motown moment. Think 3 tiny Supremes in the back of Billy Ocean's car singing beep, beep, yeah. You know that line in the song? Is it coming to you now? So he looked at the 3 of us and immediately he picked me for the middle spot, the symbolic Diana Ross role. That's how I ended up in the pink dress while the other 2 wore the matching green, and I was the lead girl, the queen bee, the center of the mini Supreme setup. So after we'd been cast by the director, he then left to go and do his thing, and we then met the choreographer who spent hours, at least that's what it felt like, as like a 7-year-old kid, hours and hours and hours and hours rehearsing in that trailer before we ever hit the set. Talk about dedication. The video itself was an 80s fever dream, part live action, part animated madness. It had everything: cars, choreography, cartoon characters popping out of nowhere, and a love story that made, well, little sense. But that's what made the 80s so brilliant. And then there was Billy, cool as ever. I'd seen him on TV loads. And now there he was in the flesh. And he was in a white Porsche and he had his glamorous leading lady sat next to him. And I just thought, wow, this is so cool. There were all these other people on set. Obviously, you had people behind the scenes, cameras, wardrobes, just everyone basically running around. And then you had us three little girls, three little mini Supremes propped up in the back of the 1950s pink Cadillac. Of course, paying homage to the whole Motown sparkle. A little bit random, but it was a traffic jam and we were part of it. Don't know where our driver went, don't know who they were, but they left three little girls at the back of a car to sing Beep Beep Yeah. And it made total sense. I mean, we're talking three moves, okay? Beep, beep, yeah. And even as a little kid, I think I was younger than 7, you know? I could have been about 6, to be honest. Anyway, even as a little kid, I picked up the choreo just like that. But the other two Supremes, not so much. I mean, one girl just couldn't get the armography, darling. Bless her, she couldn't get that. And I was like, time is money. I didn't really, I was just a kid. I didn't know this stuff. But I did remember thinking, this is long. Because I was excited. I just wanted to get out onto the set. I could hear like the noise. I could, sense the excitement and the buzz. And I just wanted to get out there and see what was going on. And we were stuck in this trailer, just going beep, beep, yeah, beep, beep, yeah, beep, beep, yeah. I mean, look, we were kids. Anyway, bless them. They got the moves. And we eventually got there in the end. Phew. Because it meant that finally, we got to get on set. And as we walked out onto that soundstage, I remember it was like stepping into a movie. It was so exciting. It was so exciting. It was a massive blacked out studio that I remember, and it was filled with like huge cameras, massive cameras back in those days. Like they actually had film inside of them. There were bright lights everywhere, smoky haze, the smell of hot cables. And there was a full scale 1950 style gas station set. They were old school cars. In fact, there were just loads of different cars. I remember seeing an American Taxi. Of course, you had Billy Ocean himself in his white Porsche. And in between takes, he was so lovely. He was cordial to everyone. He was super friendly, and he came over to us. He said hello. I remember clocking his jerry curl and thinking, my dad's got that hairstyle. Dude, it was all the rage. The jerry curl was all the rage in the 80s. Listen, if you were a black man and you didn't have a jerry curl, well, you could have only maybe had an afro. But those were the two styles back then. Maybe you had a little cane row, maybe. But the jerry curl was all the rage. And I'm instantly, of course, thinking of that guy, Daryl from Coming to America, Soul Glow. Yeah, that one. Then came our big moment. Everyone got into place, the cameras reset, the smoke machine fired up, and the director shouted, action! So the sequence had to be filmed all as one take. It was supposed to be this seamless sort of sweeping of the camera shot. I think if you watch back the video, there is a cut in it. And now I'm able to see all this, darling, because I'm now an expert of 40 years in the game. This is why I can't take myself seriously, honestly. Am I ever going to get through all these chapters of my life if I keep messing about? All right, focus, Leah, focus. And then it came to our part, the three girls in the car, straight to camera, as we were taught, beep, beep, yeah. Seriously. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. I don't look at this as me. Okay, I just look at it as a moment. It's obviously a little kid. I know it's me. I get it. But I'm just like happy for that kid, because this is before like the harsh realities of life. stepped in, it's before the reality of what was to come. Stepped in, I was just this innocent little girl having an amazing time. And so when I look back and I think of all of this, I don't know, I just get excited. I get excited like it was yesterday. And I've got to say, big up little Leah, because she smashed it. In fact, all the Supremes did, the mini Supremes on the day. Bravo, ladies. We did well. I wonder who those other two little girls are. If you ever see this, please comment. I'd love to know, what did you do next after that day? Where are you now? All right, are we ready to see my big moment, my big claim to fame? Here it is. Don't blink though, because you might miss me. Hey! Do you know what? I haven't watched this for ages. Oh my gosh, the 80s, man. What a time to be alive. Who couldn't help loving the 80s? I mean, the 90s was my favourite decade. I had my own music career by then, but we'll get on to that.
Here's the sequence, okay? Can you see the camera going along? It stops there. A bit of animation that was put in post-production. Continue walking, so there wasn't cut then. How to go back. So it wasn't, I thought it was cut from my memory, but it's not. It is one seamless shot, as I remember. Here we go.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Billy, for the memories. Oh my gosh. I love that. If you weren't here, I would have watched it probably another 10 times. I loved that. Oh, the memories. So there you have it. My first proper claim to fame. Just a flash, granted. Blink and you'd miss me, but I was there. And as you can tell, I'm very proud. By the way, there's a reason why I'm very proud of these things. First of all, I think we should be proud of our achievements. Yeah, whatever we've done. I don't care if you won the egg and spoon race at school. Be proud. All right, you can be proud of something better than that maybe. But, be proud. We should be proud of our achievements, especially if they bring us great memories, right? And also, I'm proud because, like I said, I'm looking back at a little girl before the dark side of life and the dark side of the industry got in the way. I'm looking at an innocent little girl before she knew what mental illness was or what she knew what living with bipolar would be like. And I'm just looking at a little girl who's at the start of her life, who had all these dreams and who was there with wide eyes of wonder and was just having the time of her life. And there was a time in my life where none of this meant anything to me because I really couldn't see the sense of living, to be honest with you. And hopefully you'll stick around, and as we go through my chapters and my story, you're going to hear more and more of what's made me the person I am today and what makes me tick, but also what I stand for today and why it's so important. And so I big up myself now because there was a time in my life where I never did. There was a time in my life where all I did was put myself down and tell myself that my best years were over, that I was done out here. So to be able to look back with a completely renewed mindset and to be able to just look at my achievements and look at something like that, I'm proud, and I should be proud. And that's why I'm doing this. This is my why. This is why I'm doing Legacy Through the Lens, because I want to share all this stuff with you, but I actually want to reclaim my voice, my story, and my memories, tape by tape. So there you go. Drop your memories in the comments. We're going down memory lane, and I love hearing your throwback stories. And since you're already here, you may as well subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss the next chapter of my career, because this is where my music era really begins. If you loved 90s music, and if you're a fan of 90s girl groups, well, I was in one, and you might just remember which group it was. Whether you do, whether you don't, switch over to chapter 2.
Dreams to breaking glass ceilings on screen. This is legacy through the lens. Legacy through the lens.